So everyone's telling you to set boundaries, but no one's telling you why it's so freaking hard. So here's what they don't tell you. Setting boundaries isn't hard because you don't know how. It's hard because your nervous system perceives boundaries as dangerous, as a threat. So if you are someone who grew up in a home, in a school environment, or around friends who would not allow you to say no, and if you did say no, there were a lot of consequences like anger, or you were punished, or you were rejected, or even, outcast in some way, your nervous system learned that was a threat and that not setting boundaries was a way of protecting you. It was a form of safety. So now as an adult, even if you think about saying no to someone, you start to get anxious. You trigger that stress response. It makes you feel guilty. It makes you feel anxious and kind of shift into this fear of disappointing someone. So you naturally gravitate towards that people-pleasing, lack of boundaries type of personality. And again, it's not because you're necessarily doing it by choice or because you're a weak person. It's because your nervous system, your brain, all of this is trying to keep you safe. And it's trying to keep you safe based on information that it's known for years. So what ends up happening is you say yes when you mean no. You overextend yourself. You fill your plate, you fill your calendar with all of these responsibilities, and you cannot keep up with them. And while that can seem noble and honorable, it's damaging to you when you're not taking care of yourself first. And all this happens because your nervous system thinks that this is safer than the perceived disappointment of someone, even if it's someone you don't even know. And then you end up burnt out, exhausted, and resentful because, again, that nervous system is constantly activated. That fight or flight is constantly turned on. Your cortisol is just being pumped out all the time because you're trying to make everyone else happy in order to keep you safe. And this is why affirmations don't always work, because you can't necessarily think yourself out of a nervous system issue. What you have to do is teach your brain, your body, your nervous system how to feel safe. You have to teach it these safety cues and really show it on a physiological level that boundaries are what keep you safe rather than the opposite, like you may have learned through other paths. So once your nervous system starts to really believe that setting boundaries is a good thing, that it's safe, it starts to become a lot easier to set those boundaries and to say no and to manage your responsibilities, commitments a bit more, and to take care of yourself more. So boundaries aren't always just a mindset issue, but they are intimately tied into the nervous system and that fight or flight response. So if saying